on.
LeBron did not shake hands with the Magic or address the media after the game. Shake hands. LeBron did not. He did talk yesterday, though, finally. Take a listen to some of what he had to say.
Have you talked to Dwight? I mean, you didn't shake hands with anybody last night, but have you talked to him to congratulate him or no?
No, I haven't. I sent him an email last night, congratulate him. But one thing about me, guys, you got to understand, it's hard for me to congratulate somebody after you just lose to them. I mean, I'm a winner. It's not being a poor sport or anything like that. But somebody beat you up, you're not gonna congratulate them on beating you up. That don't make sense. It don't make sense to me. I'm a competitor, and that's what I do. It don't make sense for me to go over and shake somebody's hand.
Jordan was kind of like that God. He was that angel sent from heaven that I kind of used him to help me get through some of the darkest days that I had. Even people say, well, you're only 9 years old, but there's a lot of dark days, when you grow up the way I grew up and you're part of a single parent household. So, every other day, if I got an opportunity on WGN to watch Mike, it gave me another boost of life. It made me feel that I can make it out of this situation. And when he decided to, give it up after winning that third title versus Phoenix, I felt like, what can I do? I don't know what to do. And I'm losing words right now thinking about it again. It's kind of resurfacing me as a 9-year-old.
That one right there made me the greatest player of all time.
Does it bother you that so many people are happy to see you fail?
Absolutely not. Because at the end of the day, all the people that was rooting on me to fail, at the end of the day, they got to wake up tomorrow and have the same life that they had before they woke up today. They got the same personal problems that they had today. And I'm going to continue to live the way I want to live and continue to do the things that I want to do with me and my family and be happy with that. So, they can get a few days or a few months or whatever the case may be on being happy about not only myself, but the Miami Heat not accomplishing their goal. But, they got to get back to the real world at some point.
We're going to challenge each other in practice. And the way we're going to challenge each other to get better in practice, once the game starts, it's going to be easy.
But we also know you three kings came down here to win championships. Not one, championships.
Not two.
LeBron, tell us about that.
Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7. Hey.
Everyone's on pins and needles across the country. You ready to go, LeBron? Where's the powder?
Left it at home.
LeBron, fans want to know where you're taking your talents this year. What's your decision?
In this fall, man, this is tough. In this fall, I'm going to be taking my talents to Hennessy VSOP.
VSOP? And this was the conclusion you woke up with this morning?
That was the conclusion I woke up with this morning.
Why?
I feel like it's going to give me the best opportunity to win more at hosting. And not only that, win at signature cocktails, win at having a good time, win at impressing guests, win at making memories, win at making it look easy, win at leaving people wanting more.
LeBron, appreciate it.
I like my decision.
Ooh, welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this. Well, there you go. There you go. Nothing new under the sun with LeChoke James. Nothing new. 22, 23 years later, this guy is still acting feminine and childlike. This is what this guy acts like. This is not a man. If you want a guy who was born as a man and who acts feminine and acts like a child as an adult, you got LeBron James. You got LeBron James. You got LeBron James. The guy continues, well, let's just say, because I'm done putting it on LeBron James solely. You guys got to remember, this is a business. He doesn't own the NBA. I've already came to you guys and woke you up that the reason why LeBron James is allowed to do the things he does is because the Players Association and the owners that run the league, not Big Air Dumbo, Adam Silver. Adam Silver is the punching bag for what you see out here. Adam Silver is the punching bag for what the NBA wants their image to look like. And also, LeBron James has to play the clown because this is the image that the NBA wants. And who is the NBA? Who runs the NBA, folks? Again, the owners and the Players Association. Trust me, if they would have told LeBron James to beat it 5 years ago, that would have been it. If they told him to beat it after 2018, that would have been it. They don't want that. They want this guy to be the clown act. Only thing he brings to the league is trigger people pissed off, and that's it. That's all the substance, if you want to call it substance, that he brings to the NBA. That's it. That's it. And because guys like him, in his era guys, couldn't reach the heights of the guys in the 90s, they're salty. They're salty. They're salty. All these guys, the LeBron James, the Carmelo Anthony, the Dwayne Wades, all the LeBron James guys that got smoked in the FIBA, got smoked in the Olympics, getting beat by plumbers with no help in the playoffs, Joker. And nothing bad against Joker, I'm just saying. This guy smoked LeBron James 2 years in a row while LeBron James had an all-NBA, all-defensive, top 75, Hall of Fame, all-defensive, all-NBA teammate. While LeBron James got to handpick his teams. Okay? And LeBron James is supposed to be one or two of all time. So like I told you guys before, it doesn't matter how many hiccups this guy has. It's starting to be with Bronny too. We see it now. About, you know, he can suck as long as he wants and he's still back on the scene because it's about money. It's about, you know, this is a trigger thing, right? Let's sell Bronny's jersey and piss off Michael Jordan fans, piss off past NBA fans. You know, Bronny jersey is selling more than, you know, they'll put somebody up there, oh, Bronny done sold more jerseys than Larry Bird. And Bronny's only been in the league 4 years. But Bronny, I'm just saying, in the future, but Bronny done bricked it up. Every year he was in there. That's what it's going to be in the future. So it's nothing but trigger bait. The NBA is over, folks. This is an embarrassment to past great players. And like I said before, you know, I put the blame on them halfway, right? Because for them to sit up there and take this, for the league to be promoting LeBron James as the greatest player or the second greatest player, I don't see it. So for Karl Malone, Larry Bird, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Charles Barkley, all these dudes, even Michael Jordan, I don't care if he's number one. Hakeem Olajuwon, even when Bill Russell was alive, all this is insane. It's insane, to say the least, for them to sit back, all these great players from back in the day, sit back and say nothing. And then when they do come forward, they say, to me, it's cheesy. They might say, oh, in a GOAT debate, yeah, Michael Jordan is better than LeBron. LeBron James ain't better than Michael Jordan. What? He ain't even better than you. So when I hear Dominique Wilkins say this type of stuff, he ain't better than you, Dominique. How? How if he played in a no-touch era? The guy can't shoot free throws. He sucks at rebounding. He sucks at mid-range. He has to play on. So how many super teams did Dominique Wilkins play on? And a lot of guys that I named. So that, to me, that's disheartening. And I was listening to a video of Sports and Fitness Rants today, and he was talking about he was disappointed at Charles Barkley, the way he didn't really defend Michael Jordan in the way he thought he would, because LeBron James fan asked Charles Barkley, who's better, Jordan or LeBron? And, you know, like I said, Sports and Fitness Rants was a little bit disappointed that Charles Barkley really didn't go in on this. But go see the video if you want. It's a good video. And no disrespect to Sports and Fitness Rants, but I just now, I mean, his opinion of Charles Barkley, I don't have no problem with that. That's his opinion. You know, we might differ in you know, some opinions about, you know, sports or whatever like that, but I love his channel. He's like one of the only guys that I watch anymore that seem like, you know, they want to tell any truth. They got any nuts. You know, I just like his perspective, period. So, you know, really, he's like maybe one of a couple that I still listen to. Him, AOH, who is this? Uncut Hoops, Phenomenal Fitness. That's it. That's it that I can really vibe with anymore. that I can really vibe with anymore. The rest of these dudes, I'm not trying to diss them, but I just don't care for it no more. I just don't care for it no more. Some of these dudes out here are just whiny, just too whiny for me. And the more they talk, the more they just expose themselves of who they are. But those guys are really the only guys I really like listen to anymore. But like I said, no disrespect to sports and fitness brands, but I think Charles Barkley is an idiot. I think he's an idiot. I think that he's dumb. Well, I wouldn't say an idiot. I take that back. Idiot is a different word. He's not an idiot. But I do think he's dumb. He's not an idiot. But I think he's dumb. If he wasn't Charles Barkley, he won't be on TV. He can't even finish a damn sentence, folks. He can barely say words. Now, to me, when he was playing basketball, he seemed like he was more intelligent. He didn't seem like he was this dumb. You know how I always say, Kendrick Perkins, he tries to be a Charles Barkley, like a dumb funny. Because Charles Barkley is funny. I'll give him that. He's funny. He's a funny dude. I can't deny him being funny. But at the same time, he's dumb. He's not too literate. They'll always say Kendrick Perkins, he tries to be a Charles Barkley and try to be dumb funny, but he's just dumb. Kendrick Perkins is just dumb. I don't know what else to say. Dude is just dumb. He's not funny. I don't know why. Whatever. I'm not gonna try to go into this guy. He's just dumb. Just dumb. And I was watching that video. Sports and fitness brands. Like I said, I think Charles Barkley, he's not too smart. And I've said this over and over again, that Charles Barkley, he really isn't defending Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant when he has LeBron James at number 3 all time. Number 3 all time. And I'll tell you how dumb this dude sounds. He said LeBron James did everything right, never got in trouble. We done heard that before. You ain't got to be a work for NASA to put that shit out. Charles Barkley didn't think of that by himself. That came from the media's mouth, that he never got in trouble. And Charles Barkley said that this guy has the greatest sports story of all time. Really? Think about it. He said this guy had the greatest sports story of all time. He didn't say NBA, which would be insane in itself to say that. This guy said the greatest sports story of all time. And I'm like, dumb. I'm done. And then he goes on to explain himself, which he can't, because he can't even finish a thought half the time or finish a sentence before he goes into something else. But basically, he said that LeBron James had the greatest sports story of all time because, one, he came out of high school, never got in trouble in his whole career, I guess criminally. He was NBA ready. And I heard him say one time, unlike Kobe, he was NBA ready. Kobe came in the 90s. You do know that, right? I mean, like, if this was the East in 90, LeBron James is going to college. Or he's going to sit his ass on the bench. What Kobe did, by not even starting the first few seasons, and I think he's still the third all-time leading scorer, is amazing. Leads, I think he has the most 40, 60-point games. I think 40, 60, and 80 or something like that. For what Kobe achieved, and not even playing, start for the first 3 seasons, is amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. I always say, Kobe won a championship at the beginning of the decade, the 2000s, the end of the decade, 2009, in the beginning of the next decade, 2010. That's insane. That's crazy. And he was one ring, or one, I guess you want to say about 3 wins away from getting 6. Getting 6. And he didn't have no super team when he won those championships, the back-to-back. So how do you put any of LeBron James' rings, his super team rings, up against Kobe's rings with no super team? Even if you want to say Kobe won 2 by himself without Shaq, only won 2 by himself without Shaq, then LeBron James' rings still don't count. They don't count. He never won a ring without a super team. He never won a ring without a super team. Sorry. So none of his rings count. You said Kobe's rings don't count because he wasn't Shaq was the driving force. You can't be the driving force if you're playing with other teams' number one franchise players. Other leaders. I don't care how many points you scored, how many finals MVPs you got. That don't matter. When the big three Boston Celtics won the championship, okay, Paul Pierce won the finals MVP. Who was the leader on that team? Can somebody tell me who the leader? I don't remember nobody being a leader on that team. They were all other teams' number one franchise players. Nobody was the leader. Okay, again, Drexler, Hakeem, and Barkley. Who was the leader on that team? Nobody. 3 other teams' number one franchise players who led other teams. Okay, that's it. So LeBron James' rings don't count. Kobe only has 2. That's what the LeBron fans say. He only has 2. Well, LeBron James has 0. Even if we say Kobe only, even if they say, yeah, Kobe only got 2 as a leader, LeBron James has 0 as a leader. Anyways, yeah, so Charles Barkley, this doesn't surprise me what Sports and Fitness Rants was saying. Because I done heard clip after clip with Charles Barkley basically defending LeBron James. Oh, he's got the greatest sports story in the world. He came in and started right away. He's the first player out of high school to start? I don't think so. He stayed with his wife. He didn't get in trouble. Okay, you can put those things on a resume. It's all good. Beautiful. What else do we got? He never won a ring without a super team. Is he the only player in NBA history to win MVPs with finals? I mean, with on a super team? Is he the only player to win MVPs on a super team? I don't know. Maybe so. And don't give me, oh, this guy was a Hall of Famer. Not if he came from the draft. Not if he came from the draft. So again, yeah, Charles Barkley, it doesn't surprise me with this guy. I just, I can't take up for him, man. I just hear him saying idiotic stuff about LeBron James, not defending his 90s era. These are the guys that literally, since 2018, when LeBron James got his 6th finals blowout loss, okay, remember, this is the guy that's the number 3 greatest player for Charles Barkley. This guy never seen a game 7 in the finals when he lost this series. Wow. Not to mention the sweeps and the 4-1s. So he never seen a game 7 in any finals loss. That's nuts. 6 finals blowout losses. This is number 3 for Charles Barkley. A guy who built super teams all of his career. This is number 3 for Charles Barkley. A guy who only averages 7 rebounds a game. And the biggest dude in his era. 7 rebounds. This is Charles Barkley, number 3 player. A guy who sucks at mid-range, free throw shooting, 3-point shooting, is Charles Barkley's 3rd greatest player. Really? So Charles Barkley, like Sports and Fitness Rant said, you're trying to tell us that he's better than Larry Bird? Larry Bird, who won 3 MVPs in a row? One of the greatest all-around players on offense. No flaws on offense. No flaws on offense. It made 3 defensive second teams in the 80s. 3 in a row. Let's remember, LeBron James is only a help defender. He's not an on-ball defender. If he played in the 90s, he's not making all-NBA first or second team. Or the 80s. I'm just saying. He's not. He's just too lazy. And if he does, he's making second team. He ain't making no first team. So to me, he ain't no better than Larry Bird at defense. And I think Larry Bird was better. I think, LeBron James made his All-NBA defensive teams at a time that the league was really weak on defense. You're talking about, what is this, 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13. Those are all the first teams. By the time we got to 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, come on, man. It's just not the same defense that was in the early 2000s, the 90s, the 80s. So LeBron James is basically a help defender, and because at his position, it was really declining. That's why he was making them first teams. Okay. Now, so yeah, he's better than Larry Bird. He's better than you, Charles Barkley. How? How is he better than Charles Barkley? I just don't get it. I just don't get it. LeBron sucks so bad. He didn't even break 50% from the field until like his 7th season. Charles Barkley was shooting like 55% or more his first 7 seasons. While getting you crazy rebounds, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This was Charles Barkley. Imagine Charles Barkley in his prime. And when he first came in, Charles Barkley was a menace when he came in. Imagine Charles Barkley, prime Barkley, running into LeBron James, and he goes flying like 12 seats up into the damn arena. Charles Barkley would destroy LeBron James. Give me Charles Barkley in the paint. Give me Charles Barkley shooting the mid-range better than LeBron James. So what do you have now? You're going to say, oh, yeah, you can shoot 3 better than Charles Barkley. Well, go ahead. LeBron James sucks at 3. Go look at his career average. Not good. Who the hell wouldn't leave LeBron James open all day? Rebounding, he'd destroy LeBron James. Charles Barkley would. Go get your little fake 7 assists. Man, 7 assists ain't about nothing. Especially in a weak, soft era where there's no defense. Keem Olajuwon? No. Wilt Chamberlain? No. What is Charles Barkley talking about? Number 3. I already told you guys, he ain't better than Joker. After Joker smoked him 2 years in a row, won the championship without a super team, he's not better than Joker. Joker's a better offensive player than him. Okay, yeah, he's the better defensive player than Joker. Big deal. But rebounding, passing the ball, assists, as we can see, and scoring, Joker is way better. Way better than LeBron James. Way better than LeBron James. Way better. So anyways, that's where I stand with Charles Barkley. I think he's one of the dumbest dudes on TV. And they only have him on there because he's Charles Barkley. And he can say funny stuff, but he's still dumb. He's still dumb. I don't want to hear nothing the guy really has to say. You go listen to a Charles Barkley interview, and you'll come out the interview like, whoa. You need to recoup your thoughts. You're like, what the hell did this guy just say? Yeah. And then I said this before. In the past 5 years, he's been stealing a lot of stuff that other people's been saying on social media and all these things. Like, no doubt, we've been saying this. What are you talking about, Charles Barkley? We've been saying this stuff. But I don't know. Charles Barkley, he kind of looks, let me get off of him, man. Like I said, I love Charles Barkley as a player. Much respect, man. But to sit here and watch these guys get their teeth kicked in, it's just embarrassing for these guys. It's not for me. I didn't play in the league. You know what I'm saying? I didn't play in the actual NBA league. But to watch these guys sit up here and get their teeth kicked in by the Nick Wrights, the Shannon Sharps, the Colin Cowherds, the Gilbert, all these fools that have pissed on the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, the 60s, and these guys just sit back and get pissed in their eyes, and they don't say nothing. It's just crazy. And then we're out here defending their legacy, but for what? You're not defending your legacy. You're not calling out the NBA for what it is in this era, how bad it is, how LeBron James ain't no top 1 or top 2 player. And what are these guys coming out to say? Oh, hell no, he ain't better than me. If they should be coming out, we're basing this on rings? In MVPs, in finals MVPs? That's what they're basing that on? I don't base it on that. I base it on a basketball player in his career. So when I look at, like, certain guys, I look at their skills. What did they do at a high level? How were they good at? Were they good at rebounding, defending? Were they good at shooting the mid range, the three? Shooting at the line. How good were they? How good were they in rivalries? Just stuff like this. This is what I look at as a player. As a player. And to me, if you had a paint game, LeBron James has nothing. He sucks at free throw shooting, sucks at the mid range, sucks at three, can't give you no paint work. Won't go down fighting with his team. I mean, damn. Patrick Ewing had to go down fighting with his team. Almost to the very end. Alonzo Mourning had to do it. John Stockton, Karl Malone. These guys had to go down fighting with their team. The David Robinsons, Keem Olajuwon, and a lot of other guys throughout the years. Okay, everybody went to another team. Charles Barkley went to another team. He went to another team twice. But the first team he went to won the super team. And the second team he went to, it was already old. But this is what you got from the NBA, man. This clown show right here. And people are scared to call out the NBA for keeping this clown show afloat. That's all it is. And again, it's a bigger overall picture. Why things happen. Why are these things happening? Why is he kept around for a clown show? Because when he leaves, it's over. I'm arguing with this dude. Well, I'm not arguing. He's saying that I don't know what I'm talking about when I talk about baseball. It's like it is. Because they kicked all the black players out. Now, he's probably a young dude saying, I don't know what I'm talking about. Or he said something about I'm going too far or something. Look, bro. I don't know where you grew up, how old you are. I lived in different states, big cities, small towns. I know about the demographic in the United States. The demographic that you see in the United States was not the demographic that was in the 80s, the 70s, the 90s. Half of these people or more weren't even here. Okay? I don't even know who the hell these people are in my town. But nevertheless, I'm going to tell you again. When I was growing up and I was watching baseball, late 80s, all through the 90s, the league, the late 80s, it was more black and white. Just a little drop of Spanish players. By the time we got into the 90s, the Spanish players started coming. More than what they was. By the time we got into the middle of the 90s, late 90s, it was more mixed. It was a mixed game. I liked it. I ain't had nothing against the Spanish guys. They're good. Nothing against them. But I don't think they're the best of all time. Baseball is a technical sport. Okay? So I liked it in the 90s. It was a mix of everybody. Black players, the white players, the Spanish players. It was great. So again, what happened was they start kicking all the black. Even Torrey Hunter said it. Go back and read Torrey Hunter's statements. He almost got blackballed out of them MLB for saying that. By the time we hit 210, we looked up and it was mainly only Latino players. They start lying and saying black people or black kids don't gravitate towards baseball no more. They'd rather play football and get your damn head busted open, a sport like that, or play basketball. But yet, black players were naturals. And I won't go over this again. But the big thing about it, we all know, we know now they try to hide it. They started Caribbean leagues so they can pay these guys from the AAA $100,000, $50,000 a year instead of paying American players $100,000, $1 million or $2 million to see, if we're gonna shape out. That's how it was back in the day. You had the farm teams, and you pay these guys $1 million, $2 million, or at least when I watched baseball back in the 90s, and then hopefully they'll be able to come up, and then they ain't gonna make nothing a rookie contract. So greed set in, just like, this is the United States. Greed sets in the MLB, and the team say, oh, let's start this Caribbean league. We can pay these guys 100,000, 50,000 in the Caribbean league to see if they're going to shape up, and we can just bring them up if they become good enough. Before you know it, all the black players are out of the league because they stopped picking them because now they had the Caribbean Latino league. Again, the thing with sports, I will tell you again, sports is not just about hitting the ball, catching the ball, throwing the ball, or nothing like that. It's just not about that. That's great. That's why the black people had abolished their leagues, the Negro leagues, to come play in the MLB. They begged these Negroes to abolish their league. That's a whole different video in itself. You need a soap opera. You need a storyline to sell the league. These guys now, these days, and for a minute, the 95% of them who are in MLB who can't even speak English. How are you going to be on a McDonald's commercial? How are you going to be on a Nike commercial? How are you going to be on any of these endorsement commercials to sell yourself, to sell a product, and sell the MLB if you can't even speak English? And how are you going to relate to American people if you're not even speaking the language over here? Insane, right? They had no problem selling the MLB when you had Bo Jackson, you had David Justice, you had Joe Carter and Dave Winfield, and Andre Dawson, and Sammy Sosa, and Mark McGwire, and Barry Bonds, and Bobby Bonilla, and Ryan Sandberg, Glavine, Smoltz, Maddox, Kenny Lofton, Ricky Henderson, Dave Winfield, Dave Henderson, Kirby Puckett. Yeah, MLB sold. Doc Gooden, Darryl Strawberry, Ken Griffey Jr. Remember those names. This is why baseball ain't selling no more, because you don't have those players no more. And I'm not trying to say they had to play 100 years. I'm saying those type of players. You got to keep producing those type of players to sell your league. That will bring you a soap opera. That will bring you being able to sell the league and all that stuff. That's what you need. That will sell endorsements and stuff like that. And why I say remember that is because I'm talking about the 2020 guys in the NBA. They can't sell the NBA. This is why this clown show act, LeBron James, and the rest of the clowns like Kevin Durant and Kawhi, and James Harden is still around, the 210 guys. Because the 2020s guys should have took over by now and been able to push their own era. So again, just like when the Barry Bonds thing, smoke cleared, I guess you could say all of them, Mark McGwire, Jose Canseco, all these fools, Roger Clemens, all that shit was a smokescreen. Because they was replacing all the American players, especially the black players, with all these Latino players. When that smoke settled and they couldn't talk about them no more and that was over, you looked up and all you saw was a whole bunch of people who can't even speak English and can't promote the game. And they had to, start saying stupid stuff. Like I said, black people don't want to play the game no more who was naturals. You don't want to play a game where you stand around, sit down on offense and you stand around on defense with guaranteed contracts. Sounds like the dumbest thing they could ever, but people's dumb out here, man. People's dumb. A lot of people don't have any thoughts. Their thoughts is just the TV. So when I tell you about LeBron James and these clown acts from the 210s, when they're gone, it's over. The NBA is finished. The Wimbies, you think I'm joking? They already got awful ratings now. The SGA, the Luka, the Joker, the Greek Freak, it's over. It's going to have its lowest ratings of all time. Because it's already trending. You want to bring in all these international players and make them the faces of a league in a different country. Oh, it's going to fail just like the MLB. And I told this guy, I said, well, check it out. If you take, soccer is big internationally, right? So soccer is a big deal. So let's just say this. I don't know, any country in Europe where soccer is big, right? You take a whole, let's just say you take, it's big. is traditionally big, guys. So you take, let's just say Americans, you take that league, one of those European soccer leagues, and you put 95% of it, like the MLB, 95% of them American players. They don't know how to speak the language of the country. They don't know the customs, the culture, nothing of that country up in Europe. So you put 95% American players. And then after that, they don't even look like they're better than American players that were great in the past in a soccer league. Do you think those people in Europe is going to buy that? Do you think those people in Europe is going to buy that? No, they're not. You don't speak our language. You don't know our custom, our culture. You're not even as good as our players that got replaced, our people that got replaced in our country. That's what happened to the MLB, folks. This is what's going on with baseball. I mean, not baseball, basketball too. This is what's going on with basketball also. With the NBA. The only reason why LeBron James is around is a clown show. Complete clown show. And check back with me when this dude retires. And then give it 2 to 3 years, and nobody will give a damn about the NBA. It'll be like MLB. It'll just be something that's cycling in a sport that's on TV. Nobody watches the MLB. Yes, probably during the playoffs a little bit, yeah. MLB is known for no big names. There's no soap opera going on. You ain't got no soap opera, your league ain't selling. Michael Jordan couldn't get past the Pistons. Bird and Magic ran the 80s. The Pistons got past the Lakers and the Celtics. Kobe and Shaq three-peated. Jordan won 6 rings in the 90s. Tim Duncan was a dynasty in the 2000s. Dirk Nowitzki beat a super team without a super team. Kobe won back-to-back without Shaq, brought home gold in the Olympics, and brought back respect to America. What storylines are these international players of the 2020s? What is the storyline? Because MLB showed you that they can't give you a storyline with these international players. We saw Kirby Puckett back in the day was defiant with the media. Barry Bonds didn't give a damn. The greatest natural hitter we ever seen. We saw the race between Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa in the most hits in a season. And then Barry Bonds came back and did that. Doc Gooden and Darryl Strawberry getting caught with prostitutes and cocaines in hotels. Ricky Henderson, we know the drama he brought. Bo Jackson, two-way player in baseball. Playing on the same day. Deion Sanders, two-way player, baseball and football also. Playing, sometimes they played on the same day, both games. Ken Griffey Jr., still the #1 selling baseball shoe to this day. Baseball had storylines back in the day. David Justice dating Holly Berry. Who was that? I think that was Dave Winfield or Joe Carter hit that walk-off home run for the Toronto Blue Jays, if I'm mistaken. The Braves can't win. Can't win the damn World Series over and over again in the 90s. We remember that, folks. Don't tell me about baseball, dude. Don't tell me about baseball. I was a natural. I grew up playing baseball, my first sport, my first love. So for them to kick all the black players out, it was disheartening for me. Because these are players I grew up idolizing. And the white players too. And some of the Latino. But I'm just saying, I've never watched baseball since like the 2000s because of that. Don't tell me I'm reaching. When you say something, please explain it. A lot of these people can't explain what they're talking about. I'm not just here to hate on LeBron James. I'm here to tell you it's a complete clown show with the NBA. These guys couldn't reach the heights of these guys in the past. So they said, we'll just make a mockery out of the game. There you go. It's a mockery. And all these players that go along with it, that put LeBron, that be in the GOAT debate and try to put LeBron James 1, 2, or 3, you're making a mockery out of the game too. Because his career has been nothing but a mockery. The fans spoke from the first time he was in the finals, and he had the lowest rating finals. His biggest moment, he can't have the lowest rating finals of NBA history. That was the Nets and the Spurs. Dude, you could even get second, but you can't get first. You're supposed to be the chosen one, this and that, the greatest player to come. They said this dude was the greatest player to come into the NBA. More than Larry Bird, Jordan, Kareem, Hakeem, Kareem, Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, and the list just goes on and on. For dunking on high school, academy school kids at a Christian school. We didn't have that stuff back. When I was growing up, we didn't have those type of schools. It was only for rich kids. The good players played at the regular high school. They didn't play at some preppy boy prep school, some AAU type of school. AAU was considered weak back in the day. Only weak players played on AAU. AAU was just about, passing, fundamentals. They weren't athletic. AAU boys, they would get dominated. The dudes that was good played on the street. Or, of course they played for the basketball team. But we came from the street. We didn't come from no nice subdivisions and nice upbringings like LeBron James did since he was in 5th grade. No. They weren't your basketball players back in the day. So, yeah, let me just get off of here. This is no surprise that this guy pulled a trick like this. He ain't retiring until the NBA finds out what they want to do with the NBA, because the NBA is trash. All-time lowest ratings of all time. Every year is declining. And this guy is just a clown act to get you to talk about the NBA. It don't matter if it's bad. As long as you're talking about the NBA, it's good for them. It's good for them. The only sport that has destroyed their game over a 4-6 loser, a super team builder, a meltdown artist, a choker, a dude to me that don't have, basketball skills at a high level. Can't shoot the mid-range, ain't got no paint work, sucks at threes, sucks at sucks at free throw shooting. Underwhelming rebounder, 7 assists, okay. And these are the little girly games that LeBron James plays. It ain't gonna stop. You've been playing them all his career. Either he acts feminine, or he acts girly. The same thing. Or he acts childish. That's what it is. A big ass dude that acts feminine and acts childish. This is crazy. I don't know what else to say, man. I keep saying I'm gonna get off it. This ain't funny right here, because like I heard that this is the decision part 2. So when you hear decision, you think about him going to another team to build a super team, and then a lot of people thought that he's gonna call his retirement, and this is gonna be his last year. So from what I heard, a lot of tickets start to skyrocket on the games that was gonna be his last game in certain arenas, including LA. So some people went and bought the tickets like fools, probably was going to end up selling them later, and he didn't even announce his retirement. So, some people got on that. And this is the childhood games he plays to want to tell us that he wants to continue to be an alcoholic and he's endorsing an alcohol. This is it, man. The NBA is over, man. When you put everything together about what the NBA's been about the last 10, 15 years, the NBA is over. This is, for some of these kids, this is the only NBA they know. And the NBA that they know is an NBA of players who couldn't reach the levels of what Kobe Bryant did, the Tim Duncans, the Michael Jordans, the Hakeem Olajuwons, the David Robinsons, the Bill Russells. Some of these great guys in the past, whether they won or not, they still had to play rivalries. They still had to play defense. They still had to be two-way players. If they want to make a defensive team, you'll see who beat them out for a defensive team. It's like real good players that was good in the league consistently, or was all-time great defensive players. So again, because these guys couldn't reach that status, whether it was winning or just a great player, period, they had to make a mockery out of the NBA. Change the rules. The one-way players are the best. Don't play no defense. No rivalries. Build super teams. cut other eras down. This is this is the era that these guys know. These guys have been watching the NBA the past 10 years. This is crazy. It's like some of the music they listened to the past 10 years. I don't even explain that. All you have to do is listen to the music of the 2000s, the 90s, the 80s, and you'll see that you're not actually listening to music. You're not listening to real artists. I won't even fight you about that. But yeah, this is what you got. And a lot of people is, making money off of this LeBron James shenanigans and all this stuff. Not just, regular YouTubers, nothing like that. We're talking about his buddies need to make money off of this too. And I want to make a video probably tomorrow about what Quentin Richardson was saying about if LeBron James retired. I think, what's his name was on there? Richard Sugar Jefferson and somebody else. And these dudes just literally straight up lied about his whole career. And that's what it is. I think these guys are trying to be funny. Because now it's all about trigger and reaction. Let's say the most ridiculous lies with a straight face to piss people off. This is the LeBron James era. And all these dudes in the 2020s who don't speak up, the Wembys, the Lucas, the Jokers, the SGAs, the Greek Freaks, this is y'all era. He's ruining your time. Like I said, by the time this guy retires, I don't want to hear nothing about the 2020s era. It's not memorable. He done took up all the damn space in the 2020s in all the pub while y'all out here winning one championship apiece because the league won't let you win more than one while he's playing. So to me, like I said, SGA, Joker, Luka, Giannis, all these dudes' careers is not going to be memorable. I didn't see Michael Jordan coming back and trying to suck down anybody else's, spotlight. Michael Jordan had his spotlight and got the hell out. Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Kareem, Isaiah, they had their spotlight, got the hell out. Whether they won or they didn't. Hakeem got his spotlight, got it. All these players. LeBron James is still stealing these guys' spotlight and all these other dudes. Kevin Durant, all these 210 guys, like I said, whatever, man. I don't want to, and this makes it the weakest era of all time. They're making it the weakest era of all time. But still, these dudes don't even say nothing. They don't even say nothing in their own era that they want to, that they want to run their own era. They got this fool running their era. A failure. And Bronny James.